Ladies and gentlemen, we are finding ourselves here on a gorgeous day at Sunrise Toyota North, and I have with me a 2021 Toyota RAV4 Prime. And today we're going to learn about why this is the EV for non-EV people and how it is going to make Toyota compete with the likes of Tesla and McLaren. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Matty coming at ya. Let's start out with some specs about this vehicle. Basically, it's a regular RAV4, same frame and chassis, but what makes this machine special and futuristic is you have the same 2.5 liter inline 4-cylinder engine putting out about 196 horsepower, but the kicker is in the rear. Now that's driving the front powertrain, and in the rear, pushing those two back tires, you have two 53 horsepower all electric engines fed from an 18 kilowatt battery under the seat that is plug-in able. So you plug it in, you get 196 in the front, you get two 53 horsepowers in the back. Put it all together, this puts down a combined 302 horsepower, and the torque is available instantaneously, making this machine the second fastest vehicle in Toyota's lineup, only second to the Toyota Supra. You're getting a 0 to 60 time of 5.8 seconds. Now, just to put that in perspective, you're like, 5 seconds? A Porsche can do it in 3. Yes, a Porsche can do it in 3. But a Supra 2.0 does it in 5 seconds flat. So you are actually 0.8 seconds slower with your entire family, cargo, your golf clubs, the kids' milk and cookies, everything you need, and you're almost as fast. Bananas. This machine weighs 4,300 pounds. It's a little heavier than a standard RAV because of the batteries. You can tow 2,500 pounds behind this. Now, that's like a small boat and or a trailer full of motorcycles. Had to get it in. Now let's talk about a plug-in versus a standard hybrid. So I want you to think of it like this. A hybrid is kind of like a conjoined twin. They can't live without each other. They share some organs, so the gas engine needs the electric motor in a hybrid. It does get better mileage, but typically the reason you get a hybrid is to use a smaller engine and have the electric motor kick in that extra little bit of power to keep it the same as a gas engine with way better mileage. You know, usually 10 to 30 miles per gallon more. In a plug-in, I want you to think of it as, in this case, triplets. They can each work completely autonomously, or if you put them together, all those triplets can work even harder. So when you have this engine working, it can run in just a hybrid mode using that 2.5 liter inline 4, or this particular car can use only its electric engines and go completely EV. All right, that's electric vehicle for those of you who didn't know, like me. And then when you put all of those engines together, it works way harder, goes way faster, and actually, because of the extra little bit of weight from the batteries, handles incredibly. We're gonna drive it in just a little bit and let you guys see exactly what I'm talking about. And as a side note, the other machines that have electric engines and gas engines and that they can work independent of each other are certainly the Mclaren P1. And you're gonna look at me and you're gonna say, Matty, I don't see how a McLaren P1 and a Toyota RAV4 are anything the same. and I'm gonna tell you it's the principles, okay? A McLaren can go about 30 miles on only its electric engines totally silent. This can go 42 miles. All electric, just using its torque from its electric engines in the back. And just like the McLaren, when it runs its gas engine and its electric engines together and hits incredible lap records, this car, from stoplight to stoplight, picking your kids up from school, will shut down just about anything else on the road with your family in it. When you combine the gas and the electric engines, you absolutely fly. Now, it's not a Formula One derived engine, but you know what? It's a Toyota engine and it'll last forever. They really are nailing this, and it is definitely a foreshadowing of what's to come from this brand. They are about to be one of the highest rated, longest lasting performance vehicles thanks to their way of putting these machines together. Toyota, I cannot wait for more. So why is this machine so great? Let's go a little bit into some of the facts about the mileage. Obviously, we talked about the performance. It's fast, but are you really getting your value out of this plug-in hybrid? So it's got a 14.5 gallon fuel tank, and combine that with the 18 kilowatt battery, you can get about 600 miles out of a tank of gas. That's if you plug it in before you leave and you drive 600 straight miles, which obviously that's incredible. A little tiny tank, that's plenty. But that's only averaging about 60 miles a gallon, which obviously that's a lot. But at the same time, it's really not enough to grab you. So let's talk about this other number that Toyota puts out. It's called 94 mpg E. So you're saying 94 miles per gallon E? Well, what that kind of means is it's a weird equation. So what it does is it measures how much gas costs. So let's say gas costs $2.50. The MPGE is how far can you get on the equivalent amount of electricity. So if you put $2.50 worth of electricity into this machine, you can get 94 miles out of that same $2.50, which is incredible and definitely less expensive to run. So, but the rub is the battery can only last for 42 miles completely autonomous without the gas engine kicking in its eco mode, which is still great, but it does mean you gotta charge it. Okay, so I'll charge up my car, I'll get 42 miles, charge it again, keep going, never ever pay for gas, and getting approximately 94 miles for every $2.50 I spend. So if you can follow along in that math, it's really, really economically sound to run this vehicle. So this last segment is, before we drive it, is gonna be fun facts. Now, this car has a ton of them. First off, all of the Prime machines, like this one and all the rest that are gonna be coming out, are made exclusively and completely in Japan and shipped over to the United States, making them obviously very well built, but also very hard to get. This one is the only one at Sunrise Toyota North that hasn't been sold before it arrived. So if you're interested, this one is item number 196306. You want to call up, you can't find one because they're not findable. Toyota Sunrise North is the exact place to get this SE model of this machine. Now, you're gonna ask me, Maddie, it's got a battery, right? I got to replace the battery. I understand Tesla's tank in value after 3 years because you got to replace the battery on them. And I'm going to tell you, Toyota puts a transferable 10-year, 150,000 mile warranty on their battery, which in car terms means they're not worried about it, which means they're not planning on replacing them, which means this is an incredible value and long-lasting machine, as per usual. Thank you, Toyota. Now, the government does give incentives on this. This machine is actually $42,500, which very few people walk into Toyota dealerships and outright buy them, sign a lease. Yeah, here's $42,000, give it to me. Most people lease these. When you give a lease on this, your average cost is going to be about $450 to $550 per month on this SE all-wheel drive Prime RAV4. And you're gonna say, you know, Maddie, that sounds a little high actually. And I just wanna put it in perspective for you. You're filling up your tank probably once every 2 months. So your gas costs are zilch, and the government kicks in $7,500 for you to drive this extremely efficient vehicle. You can't beat that. And the last fun fact, because you're gonna go, Maddie, I'm not charging this thing. I'm not buying that thing to attach to my garage and plug it in. And I'm gonna let you know, this comes with everything you need to charge it at home. You get the power cord, you get the charger pack, and you get a 16-foot weatherproof hose to run from your garage or your house or your apartment or wherever you're gonna be parking this right into your vehicle. So especially if your commute is less than 40 miles to work, go drive it to work, plug it in when you get to work, unplug it. Usually takes between an hour and 3 hours to charge it. Depends on how big the voltage that you're charging from is. But an hour to go 40 miles, usually if I'm going shopping, I'm in there with my wife for longer than it would take for this completely to charge up again. So this is an absolute home run. Folks, let's go for a spin. Driving the 2021 RAV4 Prime Edition. This is an all-wheel drive vehicle. Right now, we are in 100% electric mode, and it looks like it's pretty awesome. It says I have 27 miles of uninterrupted eco driving mode right now, and let me tell you, it is quiet. It's a little creepy. The fun thing is I'm actually going to take this machine to my proving ground where I ride my motorcycles. So that's going to be a little bit interesting to see what this car can do on a motorcycle favored road. But this is super fun. The brakes are way better than I thought they would be. Super smooth. There's a Tesla across the street. I wonder if he knows we're in a better car than him. All right, Maddie fans, I am turning down my very favorite motorcycle road on my little island, and we're gonna switch this into sport mode. So my dashboard just turned red, and I have the gas and the electric engine at my disposal. And it moves pretty nice. Handles pretty good. Obviously, we're not breaking any speed limits because that would be wrong. So as if almost on cue, a BMW S1000RR just went past us, all geared up, ready for action. Let's see if we can't run them down in our RAV4 with 302 horsepower. But like I said, I'm very familiar with these roads. I've been on them a dozen times just this week. And it looks like he's faded into the distance. I guess that guy can actually ride. But the brakes are great, very responsive. A little bit of body roll. Never mind, I found him already. He's not that fast. But we are moving very comfortably through these back roads. This pushes through corners great. Comes off very powerful. For a family, we'll call it family SUV, this thing handles way better than you think it should, and the power is way better than you think it should be. I'm thoroughly disappointed in the S1000 rider. And oddly enough, we are pulling up to another RAV4, a standard model all-wheel drive. He looks good, but it's not nearly as cool as this one. And folks, that is the 2021 Toyota RAV4 Prime plug-in all-wheel drive. If you can find one, I highly recommend you pick one up. Folks, new videos every Friday. Like, subscribe, share this video. Let me know in the comments if this helped you or if you hated every second of it. Looking forward to seeing you next time. Later.